Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host Brian,
Go on, everybody.
Brett,
All hail Queen Emily.
and host of Jeez, this is getting off to a horrible start here. Oh my God, Jesus, Brett. Host of Strat Chat Podcast, our friend Kyle Petty.
Hi, hello. Hi, hello.
Brett, you don't represent like the thoughts of this podcast here. People like Emily's not a good person. Like, I thank God, Kyle, I saw your tweet, and it is a great way to like start it off here. She just got a friendlier edit basically this week. She was just as mean and nasty. She knew her life was over. She didn't
Right,
say or
right.
do
This is
anything
this
nice or
this is
different.
not
She's an
because she's a
asshole.
nice lady. It's because she knew she was at the bottom of the pack, and she's like, "Listen, I gotta turn the tide somehow. So, like, let me just team up with these two. We're not buying it. We already see you, Emily.
These Kyle, these two really strong players. They're great now. Their strength is wonderful now.
So I got into Survivor thanks to Russell Hantz. So
Yeah.
that's the type of player I like, is the chaos villain type. So I'm here for it.
Didn't get the same type of
I'm
vibes from
here for
Russell
a
that
villain.
she's
I'm not
throwing out there.
here for negative. Like, there's a difference. There's a difference for sure.
Brian, how did you feel about Emily and Lulu's thing? Do you think that it was that Emily became more likable this week, or it was is Brandon just like an all-time weenie, and that's what got her to survive this week?
I'm weenie.
Yeah, I think it's more Brandon. He is, like I said last week, he's a pathetic excuse for a super fan. And like it really came out today. Like he's like, I love puzzles, and he was terrible at puzzles. And even though people don't like Emily, like Brandon had to go. Like he was so bad at the game. Like he's losing them challenges at this point. I don't want
What
Emily
did
to
you
be
think
there
of
either. I don't
Brandon?
like her either. But
No, I hate it because it's true.
yeah, it's
It
Brandon.
made good
He's
sense
so
to
bad.
me. It
He's
did.
so
From a
bad.
game perspective, it's like, okay,
He's
listen.
so bad.
You guys are gonna really be eating your words when Emily wins this season. So
I look again. What have
no,
I
I
said?
won't. No, I won't.
I think
Because somebody can
I
still
just
play
think
the
she's an
game well
a-hole.
and still be a terrible person. I don't have to
Yeah.
root for you to still say that, like, listen, I understand why you won. Like, those are two totally different topics. And
Yeah,
like,
I think it's like you're buying way too early. Like objectively, week one, she didn't play a good game. She called a lot of people out and made a lot of enemies. Week two, she groveled back and literally was gonna get eliminated. One, if they actually had held a vote last week, they all said she was gone. And now, like, secondly, it's like it just I think that, like, yeah, maybe later on she can end up doing well, but she hasn't played a good game or been a good person so far. So like
it's part of her hero arc, just like
part of her hero arc.
Taylor had from Big Brother last year, and then Cameron's having this year.
Look, if she does a heel, like a face turn, like we're gonna talk wrestling here, like she does, she ends up turning into a good guy. Like I'll be all for it. I, as a viewer, just me, I just have what I can see so far. I haven't loved. That's all. And like again, it's just bad luck for Lulu. Frankly, like how do you get both of them? How do you had him and the chick from last week both in the same tribe? Like that's like all time set up for bad luck for the rest of them. Frankly, if those other tribes end up staying united.
I want to just see more of the other tribes. Like that's I think that's another reason why. I mean, she still sucks, but we see so much of Lulu. I can't make a decision on who I think is going to win because I still don't know anything about the red and blue tribe at all.
Super fair. I'm really intrigued by some of the things that are going on in that blue tribe. What's the name? Balo is whatever it is.
Bello, yeah.
Yeah, they're interesting too, because there's a very interesting dynamic going on over there, especially because of Bruce. You know, he's getting so much attention and for all the wrong reasons. Like, whatever vet status you get to claim is only working against you. Like, it's not, it's just not working for him.
I don't think so.
He's trying to be Philip. If Brett, you might remember who that is. He's trying to be like Philip, where he's like crazy, but it's not really working.
Well,
Philip was actually crazy.
Yeah,
it comes into that dynamic again. I think Bruce is like you could tell he's not actually this big jokey hokey guy, but he's trying to play that because he thinks he's going to become off as more likable and like,
Right.
as opposed to being the stern hardo and commanding the camp. And he's still commanding the camp, but then he's chuckling, right, and then doing a goofy like dance and a little like impression or whatever, and you could tell like how long will that wear thin. What's her name though is great. Katura.
Yeah, she's on
Tora.
Like,
thank God for her.
I love her. She's like,
yeah.
hello, like this guy is just, you guys are just sucking up all of his crap. Like,
Right, this guy's the worst.
Why would we like him? Why would we like him?
I hope they both stick around for a while so we can see her continue to rip on him in confessionals.
Yeah, that's very fun. Absolutely. Yeah, totally agree.
But I like her gameplay so far.
Their dynamic is interesting because I guess Kelly and Brando are apparently in the middle of the all guy and the all girl alliance. So I am intrigued to see if they go to tribal, what kind of happens there.
Yeah, no, if it's going to be all guys versus all girls, obviously not like you said, Brett. They do have it mixed up a little bit. I do actually have that like lined up. Basically, Brando is the swing vote in that tribe right now. There is one guy, there's a traded guy and girl, right? But the idea is that like, who will Brando side with? Will we go with the predominantly female alliance or we go with the predominantly male alliance? I think, as much as I hate saying it because it's just going to sound so like, let's just do the gender war thing, but like I think he's probably right now, he might be safer with the guys, because I do, at the end of the day, like if they want to do a female alliance, you're the first one out of that, right? Am I crazy for thinking that? Like, that's just kind of my instinct right now.
If I'm on that tribe, I'm going for Kendra. She's the one I want out.
Why do you say that?
Oh, is that she's the astrological girl?
Yeah, she's the crazy astrology girl, and she's the one that's kind of steam heading the all girls alliance.
Yeah,
that's kind of what she talks about. Kelly talks about playing the middle, and Katuro talks about Bruce.
I think that's pretty fair, honestly.
I still need to see more of him before I think where he's going to go, because I don't think we've seen enough of him.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely have not seen enough. But going on the logic that was now presented in this conversation, right? Like, we're saying that like maybe Brando could be on the bottom of things because he's not a girl. But at the same time, if we're looking at this objectively, are the rest of the men going to see him as solid a contributor as the rest of them? He could still very much be on the bottom of them too.
Right. That makes sense.
So I think it definitely depends on, what's literally happening that day and like what's going on and where things go, because I still think that the way this edit is presenting things, it's almost like Bruce could be on the bottom of things. So like,
listen, it's that tripod of Bruce, Jake, and Kelly, right? Are they as solid together? Would Kelly be the first one on the outs of the three? Would it be Jake and Kelly together out on Bruce? Again, that's where the Brando thing is interesting, because like I said, he doesn't really belong with either of the kind of sides, right?
And that's exciting. That's exciting.
I would be interesting to see. I would like to see a swap soon, frankly. And we could run down quickly kind of like what all the other kind of gameplay things that happened this week, because there is a decent amount. I want to run it back. We'll run it back and run through the days, and we'll bring up the things that pop up. The very first thing that I noticed is Emily said she felt like she was getting gaslit. I think we all disagree, maybe except for Brett. They said they came in saying nobody liked. Well, this is the thing. She came in, she's like, nobody liked me. It's like, well, how did no one like you from the start? Like, you told people not to like you. Right. Soraya saying that, kind of really pressing her into saying like, maybe you just need to be more aware of how you're coming off. And I thought that was fair advice, right? Didn't say you're a terrible person, but just be aware of how you're coming off.
Just be self-aware. That applies for everyone in this game.
We haven't got to talk about Reba yet, so let's go talk about the Red Squad. Austin gets a chance to decode his Beware advantage. It has dig in the fallen palm tree X. Others in the tribe, though, do know that it is a cipher, and that obviously does come into play. Also with Reba right now, we have a Drew, Austin, D, and Julie alliance. I guess what you would say being spearheaded by Drew, who thinks that he is a mastermind.
That's going to be a mastermind in the next week preview.
Yeah. Yeah, that alliance they built this episode sounds like it might crumble next week. Yeah. He gets caught looking for an idol.
He's digging like a dog in the ground.
I don't know. I just think that was kind of a thing too, this episode. Everyone trying to be maybe just like a little too honest with one another. We talked about Uncle Bruce in the beginning of Bello Day 4 and how Couture knows that, hey, this is the only, we have to look out for him. Going into Lulu, I also thought it was funny because everybody was out looking for the idols because they did not want Emily to get it, which again is funny to see how the episode develops. Where again, the whole reason they're running around the whole beginning of this episode is so that they can send her home.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon's just downward spiral this episode.
He also
bad if like keep her in.
He also wussed out when he could have had the idol, the beware advantage.
Well,
yes,
that's exactly my next point there. Brandon finds the beware advantage, Brett, and doesn't want to open it. Now, look, I've said this before openly. I wouldn't want to open it a lot of the times either if I found it myself. I think finding it with another person maybe kind of changes the dynamic of you almost have to take it, right? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. I don't like this team looking for idols thing either. It's the one thing I like that Emily did is like I want to look for it myself, and I was like, I respect that.
Every advantage this episode, they all shared.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate it. I hate it so much.
In what's it? The guy from the red team, Austin. He basically told Basile he had the beware thing. He had no reason to do that. Basile already kind of spilt his beans because I mean they knew he left the island to go play a game, but Austin could have just hidden his idol. He didn't have to share that with anybody.
No, he told Drew. Yeah, he shared the beware advantage with Drew right before the immunity challenge. So I mean, you're right for sure. Like there's too much honesty in the game. I did like when they did find the idol though. When Brandon was helping her, he did have what I thought was the line of the episode. I have scoliosis. When she wanted to climb on his back, and he's like, "Well, you can't stand on it too long. I have scoliosis." Also, his decipher was way easier than the other one. Just the hole in the map, that's way easier than the other one from before. I thought than like
the Ouija one that looked like you're doing a Ouija board type of thing.
Yeah, I thought that one was a little bit tougher, frankly, just because also having to do it in front of everybody, right?
Right. Well, hold on now. Are we overlooking some of the things that kind of make this beware advantage interesting when you are looking for it as a duo or as a team? You know, because even though you know that, like, listen, there's a potential that I could lose my vote here, right? And I don't know what I want to do with this, but there is some power in saying, you know what, I don't want this, but because I'm here and we found this together, I now still know what your weakness is. I know what you have to do. So in a way, I'm forcing you to trust me. Like,
that didn't work though. But
that's fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you play it right, like I'm not saying that's not what happened tonight, you know, but like, but that is what could happen, and like that's certainly a different way to play it, and it certainly makes it a little bit more interesting. It certainly makes it more interesting than just getting an idol and knowing that someone has an idol. I am so aware of your movements as you're now trying to figure this whole thing out. Like, I think there's a lot of power in that socially.
It's a very fair point because I wrote this down in regards to when they're going to do the vote in the tribal council, obviously Brandon versus Emily. And what I wrote here literally is Brandon would be his advantage of keeping him is literally loyalty versus Emily, who would honestly probably be physically better at challenges and better in puzzles. So honestly, more maybe of an asset to you as far as challenges. But it's a great point, Kyle, because it's like, how much is loyalty worth? Could be worth a lot if you really think, and that's like what they're considering, you know, with Emily now, right? On Lulu, can we rehabilitate her to be a loyal ally? A good, what he's called, what they called a Caleb called a better player. Like, I'm going to rehab her up as a player. And if that's honestly his motivation, that's stupid. Like, you shouldn't be wanting to help someone be a better player. But if your motivation is to like fully buy her loyalty, then yeah, it's great. Now, with Emily specifically, I don't know how long that would last you, right? But I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Like, would you rather keep someone around who you think is going to be an asset, like in the game? Just say physically. I'm just saying, like in challenges, or would you rather keep someone around that is going to always vote with you?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious.
I mean, I think early in the game, I kind of want to keep a physical person because I don't want to go. I want to go to tribal council as little as possible. But later in the game, I think you want to keep the loyalty because you obviously want to go further in the game. Because I just think this Lulu tribe is going to crumble, and then like if you're going to tribal council every other time, there's three. It'd be different if there was two tribes. But with the three, if you're going to lose consistently, your numbers are small. They axe that tribe down to two and then one or whatever. Then it's going to go. You're going to get put on another tribe, and you're going to be the bottom of the barrel again, and probably the next one out.
Yeah, I don't really know Caleb's motivation for trying to coach Emily up and get her on his side. I think the logical thing for him in that position would be to take out Emily this vote.
That's what I wrote.
Take a gamble on Brandon next challenge. If you lose that one, then cut Brandon. And then if you end up losing again and there's three of you left, then at that point he's tight with Sabaya, so there's a good chance they could just take out Sean. And then I'm sure they merge at that point, or they have to, because you can't. Two people.
They can get absorbed. It's happened before.
And there's always a chance of a swap, frankly. That's going to come into play probably. Kyle, would you rather
smiling over there?
What?
I'm
giggling. He's giggling.
I'm thinking there's a lot to think about here. Because one of the things that Brett said there is like, what is the value that Caleb has in trying to befriend and align with Emily? Well, it certainly depends. Because we don't fully know how she's really being presented and depicted to everybody else, right? But we only have seen what we've seen. So it doesn't feel good the way that Emily would seem to be actively working against him. So even just socially, there is some value in having some kind of under the table deal with her because no one else would expect it, right? So there certainly is a little bit of a benefit there. And there's also not a lot of risk in getting any blowback from that because Emily is very well aware that she's on the bottom of this thing. So she's not going to blow anything like that up. So it feels like a pretty low risk way to align yourself socially. So there's certainly some benefit there. Now, it certainly depends on what else now goes on as we go forward to see if we're really going to get any fruits, from this labor. But there's something to be said for that, no?
Maybe Brandon wasn't Caleb's right-hand person, but he saw that opportunity with Emily to be his right-hand person. Besides, I guess, the Sabaya thing he's already got.
True.
Yeah, Sabaya's on lock. That's done. What is Brandon offering? I'm not saying that Emily is not offering anything physically versus Brandon. But
Brandon's a vote.
Socially, there might be a benefit there.
Yeah, Brandon's just a vote, right? Brandon's a, hey, we'll keep you around if you vote along with us. And that's kind of what was, I think, the only thing he was really offering as far as a benefit, right? Because we talk about, again, we go and do the boat message that comes in, right? One member of each tribe has to go. Drew goes for Reba. Brandon goes for Lulu. Bruce goes for Bella. Why? Two things. One, if you're Brandon, I don't risk my vote. I know I'm legitimately in the bottom two of my tribe. Why do you risk your vote? Two, even if I don't get this advantage, why are you not going back and lying? Tell them people you got 2 votes. Tell them you're immune. How would they know? I don't get it. Like, lie. I don't.
Sure.
The honesty thing is
absolutely right.
Dude, I'm really dumb, by the way, guys, because guess what? When we fast forward to the immunity challenge, and like you guys said, you can't do the damn puzzle. It's like you couldn't do 2 puzzles in 2 days, dude. Like that's it. You're done. Like, right? Like what?
Would you guys have done that puzzle? That puzzle actually looked really hard for only having 3 minutes.
I can't do any of these puzzles.
So it's just he just matched wrong.
It was just pattern matching, right? It wasn't really like a puzzle, right?
He messed up the matching sequence. If he got it right, he had you just needed to scramble 3
because then it was just 3 numbers. You have to flip them right for the combo. So like I try these this order, right? But like literally, he rushed so much that he thought this one was the same as this one, and it wasn't. Right. So yeah. I agree, Brett. I think like the toughest part was like you just got to do it quick because you need the most time to try the combos out. But as soon as I saw him try like 2 or 3 combos, I'm like, yeah, this guy didn't do it right. Like he definitely messed up. And
yeah, as soon as Drew had 81, I was like, Brandon's wrong.
Also with Drew's, his seemed a little sketchy because he was like throwing him on the ground. So how was anyone even confirming that he actually had matched them?
He didn't need to match them. You don't need to. You need to just find the 3 they're not matched. So he was just getting them off the table, so he's not confusing himself. That's how I took it.
Yeah, I thought so too. But again, like I saw what you meant, Breck. His was way more chaotic going on.
He was just
he ends up getting it right. So it ends up being funny that like the guy that looked like it was a mess ended up doing it. He was completely honest. All 3 of them were honest. Again, I just lie.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You do get put in a tough spot though with those type of situations because they know that either you're lying or you got something.
I mean, yeah, because like Emily didn't grill his ass on that one when he didn't come back with an advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. Well, because I think frankly she knew that like I can't really be in any position.
She's like, wow, this guy is an idiot. I don't need to question him.
Yeah, she saw a golden opportunity. I mean, she said that when they were sitting around the camp, right? She's like, look, I don't really want to talk crap. And she's like, I add some more, I think she called it vitality to the tribe compared to Brandon, which again, I agree with her. Like she does add life. Like she will actually be really trying. She will also be playing the game. This guy was another, I'm just happy to be here guy, which is the thing that infuriates us the most.
He was like putting the pieces of the tree puzzle and like it didn't even match the branches. And people are like, yo, look at the puzzle, dude.
Well, that was what Sabaya was saying.
Oh,
yeah, I think he was just panicking.
Super fan my ass.
Yeah, you would think if he's actually a super fan since 6th grade, he would have, trained a little better to be somewhat athletic and not just fall down every chance he gets.
I feel even worse about all this is like I found out this week that this dude, like I said, he was from Jersey, so I looked up the town. He is in literally the town that connects to my town.
He's your neighbor.
Like he literally is my neighbor. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I get like a DM being like, "Oh, you think you're so good, huh? Let's have a puzzle off." And I'm gonna be like,
You should say bet, dude.
You're like, you'll be okay, Bill.
Yeah,
a puzzle.
They had the intro today. The intro today, and like
bully. I'm already the survivor. The survivor bully. I already got accused of it last week in some of the comments. Did you see that one comment where the person's like, "Oh, you're just gonna accuse her of this? I'm done watching this."
I mean,
commented back
this is the most volatile fan base.
I can't win. People like it when we're candid, and they get mad when I'm candid.
The other thing that's funny, you know how they had the intro today, which I really appreciate, and I'm thankful they did that. Brandon's moment was him just on the ladder. So it's like he's not making it very far. Like they don't have any clips of him.
No. Damn. I also felt like these little bits were like too short. Like I felt like it was way too rapid. Like I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit. Yes, the intro. Yeah, I felt like maybe Australian Survivor is a little bit longer. Like I don't know, but like I just felt like this was sped up.
Oh, it seemed very on brand for the other season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? I was disappointed. I was very disappointed.
One thing I do, which is gonna 100%, I'm almost 100% go in the thumbnail that I make for this tomorrow morning, is with our lovable losers at Lulu, where Sabaya and Caleb and Sean did do the map and did end up finding the idol that was sprung up in the tree, which I thought was pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these lovable losers don't have any fire. So these lovable losers can't melt the cans.
You should have put that thing on top of her torch in Tribal. Honestly, is what you should have done.
That's such a smart idea on the way out, like on the walk back. Just Brian, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I just thought,
that's a good one.
Cut into it, unless that's against the rules.
No, well, it did say it had to be melted. That was like it was very specific in the.
She's over there like biting it.
Put it in your hands and melt it.
Yeah. If it was soap, you could wash yourself with it. But yeah, that's what I would have done. That's what I was thinking the entire time.
Without flint.
You can.
But hold on though. Like, how is this really going to actually work out? Like, how are you going to just burn this candle in front of everybody and just hop in the fire and just snatch your idol? Like, how is this whole thing going to play out? This is going to be so good
at camp. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Sit in the back row, Tribal. Pop it up there. let it melt, and then you're gonna have wax.
Like burn.
Yeah, the evidence, the wax
just dripping down. You're like,
it's gonna be like when Gandalf throws the letter in the fire and he pulls out the ring. Like that's gonna be the immunity idol. It's quite cool.
The whispering.
Put out your hand. It's quite cool.
It's so good.
You get burned. It's like, what are you talking about? It's not quite cool. It's in the fire. How many weeks, guys, until they get this candle melted?
It's gonna be one of those things that we never actually get to see. Like no one actually tries it. That's it. It's just one of those twists that just die off.
I hope it's next week.
Aren't you supposed to get fire after you go to tribal council though? So shouldn't they have had it from last time?
Well, they didn't technically vote. They didn't do the full process. But you're right, Brett. I agree with you that.
I still think they should have gotten it though. That's not fair because while they didn't vote, he did say, "Are we all in agreement?" So, like in a way, I did not vote, right?
Well,
like
at the challenge this episode, he said Hannah voted out last night. That wasn't a vote out.
Yeah, liar, Jeff. Also, he said at tribal, he's like, when you guys let her quit. And I was like, you let her quit, Jeff, Mr. Executive Producer. You let her quit. Don't start with me.
Shenanigans. Don't start with me. You personally.
One thing I do want to talk about before, like, as we round out the conversation, because you guys did bring up Drew in the preview. We didn't mention what Drew's advantage is. It is basically a get out of tribal free card. You can choose to leave tribal. You are immune, but you don't get to cast a vote. Is there a possibility we see that come into play next week and him use it if the fighting and everything seems like it's not going well for them?
Possible.
I don't see it. I don't know. I don't really think he's on the chopping block like the preview showed.
It's like just an edit.
Oh, he's alive.
Yeah,
it looks like Mike Glennon. If you guys know who that is.
Yeah, the Bucks quarterback.
Yeah, like the neck is like a giraffe neck. That's what Mike Glennon has. But yeah, he's just like digging in the thing like a dog that did something wrong. And he's like,
I don't think he's in danger. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't think based off this episode. I was just laughing.
Is her name D? Is that her name?
D.
Yeah. She's like, oh my God, it's like a boyfriend cheating on me.
Yeah. She was
the one here with your crazy toes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Those are like hands.
What was that?
Did anyone else look at their toes after that just to see what their own toes look like?
I know my body.
I know exactly what my toes look like.
I was like, nah, that looks fine. They look fine. I looked at my toes, like, oh damn, that is weird.
You're like, oh boy.
Mine
pick stuff up with it.
Yeah, the big old toe. Look, overall, I think there's going to be way less hate on the internet for this episode of Survivor compared to the premiere. I'm obviously less mad. I think we're all less mad than we were last week. Hoping though that the crowd is still around. I mean, I want to see the comments. I want to see what you guys think about the gameplay, the advantages that showed up this week, kind of the lines that were drawn, the alliances drawn. Make sure to check out Kyle. Kyle, real quick plug for the Strat Chat.
Oh yeah, you can find us at Strat Chat Pod on all the socials. We're also on Blue Sky.
All right. Made it?
Yes, I'm on Blue Sky.
Wait, can you send me an invite for the group?
Absolutely. I have codes. Codes. I'll send them out. Yeah. I kind of got stuck because like once I got on Blue Sky, John stopped letting me like tweet on like the podcast accounts. So I'm the only one on Blue Sky. So come on, come join me.
Yeah, I want
nice conversations. Nice conversations over there. Yeah. We're actually picking up Survivor Chat on Monday at 8:30. Eastern, Eastern, we like to be live. We have a lot going on. Mondays is like mega all of a sudden because it's like 8:30 is like Survivor, 9:30 the challenge, 10:30 Big Brother 25. Lots going on. And then we're quiet until Thursday. But yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Make sure you check it out. We're fans. We've been on. We're going to continue to definitely go on. A lot of collab stuff coming up, a lot of great shows.
Yeah, you guys got to come next week for like a good eviction. This week,
yeah. I know.
Still waiting.
You get Brett too. Brett is the loyalist for Big Brother. I'm going to come in there and tell you how goofy it is half the time, most of the time.
I don't think. I don't think you want me on.
It's part of your. He goes. It's part of your charm.
Listen, I love a dissenting opinion.
You're gonna see more of Kyle. Kyle's gonna be on our next review as well for week 2 of the Amazing Race. So make sure you check us out then as well. But until next time, for myself, Brian, Brett, Kyle, thank you. Peace.
Thank you.
Comment if you have symmetric toes.